If you love the iconic Toyota Land Cruiser but have been hoping for a more affordable and smaller version, your wish may soon come true. It is speculated that Toyota will launch the 2024 Land Hopper, a more compact off-road SUV, in late 2024. Toyota Land Hopper will be the best small SUV in the automotive industry. Toyota boasts a plethora of iconic models like the Toyota Supra, Corolla, Camry, and Prius, but the Land Cruiser would be the first choice for every off-road enthusiast. With its iconic nameplate in use for more than 70 years, Toyota has established itself as the world's toughest SUV, an SUV that can travel to any destination on Earth. But unlike some other off-road vehicles that can also get you home, the Land Cruiser family is more than just a single model. It has been a family for several decades, ever since Toyota decided to offer both comfort and off-road-oriented models. 3 Land Cruisers are currently available, starting with the largest and most opulent 300 series, which is sold mostly in the Middle East, but also in a few other regions of the world. This family of Land Cruisers comprises a few different models that share the same nameplate. Next up is the Land Cruiser Prado, which debuted as the 250 series after a recent complete redesign. This model is sold all over the world, including in North America, where it took the place of the pricey 200 series. Although these two are considered to be comfort-oriented models, there is also the 70 series model, which has been in production for almost 40 years and is still the best off-road vehicle on the market. The toughest regions of Africa, Asia, South America, and Australia are now ready for something smaller that can be sold everywhere and function as a fantastic choice for customers with particular lifestyles in addition to being capable off-road vehicles. We're talking about the small SUV that may go by the name Land Hopper, though it may go by another name as well. The Land Cruiser family will welcome a new member, but the new small SUV will likely go by a slightly different name due to its size and potential car-based design. We have already mentioned the Land Hopper name, but other names are linked to Toyota's upcoming compact SUV, although the Land ER trademark has been secured. Although it can also be used for the new SUV that Toyota decided to use, some sources also suggest other names. For instance, the compact cruiser name, which was previously associated with the EV concept, may be revived, as could the legendary FJ Cruiser nameplate or some of its variants, like the FC Cruiser. Lastly, we may see a standard alphanumeric designation, while a small SUV such as this could be called the Land Cruiser 50, or something similar. The size of the Land Hopper is undoubtedly what sets it apart from the competition. Experts suggest that the smallest SUV in the Land Cruiser family will be similar in size and proportions to the two-door versions of the Jeep Wrangler and Ford Bronco, which could be major competitors. Additionally, some sources have already provided measurements that seem quite plausible, indicating that the new SUV will measure 177 inches in length, 71 inches in width, and 73 inches in height. We advise you to proceed cautiously with them for the moment. Since Toyota has a policy of withholding information about the new SUV, there aren't many details to go by. The only thing we've seen thus far is a teaser image from the Land Cruiser 250 presentation, but even that image doesn't reveal much. We can all agree that the teaser image didn't show anything specific. All we can see is the outline of a boxy SUV with massive wheels and features like high ground clearance and short overhangs, which are things you would expect from every off-roader. However, most experts and enthusiasts point out the indicative side of this image, suggesting that the exterior styling could be fairly similar to the compact cruiser concept we saw in 2022, which was imagined to be an electric vehicle. But the production version could involve distinct strategies about the powertrain as well. But ultimately, we all want the same outcome: a boxy and compact design with plenty of ground clearance. While the exterior design approach is fairly clear, there's a bit of a mystery. Massive tires, rugged bumpers, and lots of body cladding all combine with a design language that blends futuristic and retro aesthetics to stand out from the crowd. Generally speaking, a true Land Cruiser should have a traditional body-on-frame chassis, which is what many sources indicate the new Land Hooper will have. However, is a small SUV really in need of such a tough chassis? Can it still have respectable off-road capabilities without being overly bulky? Can it ride on a unibody platform? It's not just us who have this thought. Numerous sources recommend a unibody platform. They also typically recommend the Track platform, which powers some of Toyota's smallest models, such as the Corolla, the best-selling car in the world, and its SUV version, the Corolla Cross. This small SUV may borrow many parts from the new Landhopper. No doubt operating on such a platform would have numerous advantages, including improved on-road driving manners and the ability to implement advanced technologies, particularly hybrid powertrains. Undoubtedly, the majority of sources indicated that a small Land Cruiser would have an all-electric setup. While that is likely to occur eventually, we are fairly certain that the first iterations would prefer to have hybrid powertrains. This is where the close relationship with the Corolla Cross comes in handy, as the Landhopper would receive two fairly capable but also reasonably efficient powertrain options. Naturally, both would be based on a 2L inline 4, with the base model having a traditional self-charging hybrid setup. It adds a reasonably strong electric motor for a combined output of 196 horsepower, or almost 200 horsepower, which seems respectable for a car this size, but we anticipate seeing a plug-in hybrid version as well, one that would have a lot more power, larger battery, and consequently, a more powerful electric motor with a 220 horsepower total output and a respectable all-electric range that may easily exceed 30 meters. We expect a variety of traditional off-road features because the Landhopper is still an off-road vehicle despite its unibody construction and road-friendly ride quality. The first consideration is the ground clearance, which should be fairly acceptable along with the approach and departure angles. Other considerations include the tires, which appear rather large in the teaser image, underbody protection, and body cladding that seems specific. However, Toyota needs to figure out how to provide four-wheel drive, which can be done with a hybrid powertrain by simply adding an electric motor to the rear axle. However, we believe that a true off-road vehicle like the Landhopper deserves a more traditional solution, such as a traditional drive shaft and differential, along with the small SUV receiving a locking differential or, at the very least, limited slip differential. Additionally, the Landhopper would receive a few electronics-based off-road features, like multiple traction control modes, control of hill descent, etc. One thing is certain, Toyota is currently working on the all-new Landhopper, or whatever name it chooses to give it. As for the pricing, some previous estimates suggested a very low-cost SUV that would start at about $25,000 or less. More recent estimates, however, are much more realistic and suggest a base price between $3 and $35,000. We assume Toyota will provide more specific information about the release date and price soon. Smash the like button and subscribe to watch all things cars.